Okay, now recording is on. Alright, in the previous session, we have seen functions. Okay, now we'll be seeing, that optional, parameters. So, mainly we are discussing now function parameters. So let me type it in here. Functional parameters. Okay, all right. So in the function parameters, there are optional parameters. Okay, so let me discuss optional parameters. Okay, optional parameters, sometimes, we write the functions and we need parameters. Okay, so let's say we have display function in here. Okay, and it's returning string. So we are returning, first name and last name. We say hello, and dollar $f name is there, and dollar $l name is there. Okay, so this is what we are returning actually. So this function should receive two values, first name and last name. And when you're calling this function, you should have a main function, and in that you should, call this function display, and you should pass. See, you should first say in first name and then last name. All right. So let's send first name. So I'm sending village, and then here, surname. It will be I'll send in my name here. Okay, just hold on a minute, please. Yes, okay, sorry for the pause. Okay, here, the first name and last name we are sending. Okay, here first name is Vishal and last name is Teli. So, you know, here we are displaying this. Okay, so what is going to happen? This is returning, okay, value. So, what we do? So, we will catch this value in string X first. Okay, you can do like this. Okay, or let me just do X is equal to this. Okay, and then you can print this value. Okay, so print, you can do X. All right. So in this one, you have to define this as a string. Okay, these are having type string. All right. So now, okay, everywhere it is okay, and undefined use and okay, that is correct now. Uh, okay, we are not supposed to use dollar sign in here. Okay. All right. Run this one. As you can see, the names are displayed. Optional means what? Optional parameters means what? That sometimes you don't need to pass the second value. In that case, this function should work. Let's say I am calling this function one more time. Okay. So let me declare this as y, this as y. Okay, and this 21. Now here you see, I'm not sending the last name. I'm just sending only one value in here. Now you can see here, it is giving me error. It says you need two positional arguments. You need two arguments here, but you are sending one argument because display function has two parameters, first name and last name, but you are sending only one value. Okay, you need, see, only one value is found. Try adding the missing arguments. Try providing different value. Okay, all right, so in this case you need to make this optional. Okay, so what is the optional parameter is that you put the parameter in a square brackets and you make it, you provide the default value. Okay, so how do you provide the default value? You just make equal and then empty string. Okay, so this empty string is actually default value. Okay, so this is the default value. Okay, string and L name, and then this is the default value. So now this is empty. Okay. So this is actually called empty string. Okay. So we can check in here first. If that L name is empty, is it empty? If yes, it's empty, then we can return just hello and dollar $f name. Okay, we just return only the first name. If suppose it's not empty, okay, this last name, it's not empty. That means we are passing to both values, first name and last name, both values. That time last name is not empty. So that time we are returning first name and last name both. Okay, and let's say we are passing only first name, not last name. In that case, this is empty. So this is the optional one. Okay, as because this is the optional one, if you don't send the second parameter, second argument, okay, you call this function with one argument, one value, and you don't send the other value, that's okay. It will be empty. This is called optional parameter. Okay, so in this one, we use square brackets to make this L name parameter optional. Okay, and we also assign default value to this. Okay, all right. So inside this function, we are checking whether the last name is it empty. If yes, then we deal with the only one parameter. If it's not empty, we deal with the all the parameters. All right. So that's it. The optional parameters. Let me put all this in comment. Let me first run this so that you'll get to see how this function call that we made, okay, with one argument. So it says hello Vishal in this case, and in this case, it's saying hello Vishal. That means when we pass the one argument, it is executing this, and when we pass both all the parameters, it is executing this. Okay. So now we see named parameters. Okay. Now we see the named parameters. Let me put it in comment first, this code, and let's start the named parameters. So let me put it in comment. So this is named parameter we are talking about. And the core concept of this named parameter is that the ordering, okay? Sometimes function has too many parameters and we don't remember the ordering, okay? And for that, we name the parameters, okay? So let's learn the named parameters, okay? So see, so let's create the function first, okay? This is the function and this time, we'll be creating, okay, let's create it from the start. We have the function here, string, it's returning the string. It's a, greeting the person, okay? So here we have a string name and this is the title for a person, okay? See, and in this one, display is the function, okay? Okay, and in here, what we are supposed to do is we are supposed to return a string hello and we say dollar name, okay? And first we should have the dollar title, okay? So it's like every person, is doing something. So let's suppose Nilesh is a doctor. Okay, we say hello, Dr. Nilesh. Okay, that sounds much better, if we use their, profession. Okay, so to greet them. So people like that. Okay, so if it's a professor, we say hello, Professor Nilesh. Okay, like that. So what we do is we now create a main function. Okay, and in this we are going to call this. Let's first directly we can use the display function in here also, can pass on, we have to say first name and then title. Okay, so we first can say the name. Okay, so we say Nilesh. Okay, and then we say professor. So in here we are doing this. Okay, if we execute this, what will happen? See, in this one, you need to pass the name and the title in the order. okay, in the right order. Okay, like say you need to pass the name first argument because here you're receiving, you have first parameter name in here, function definition. So, and the second parameter is title. And the second parameter is title, and you need to pass the second value as a, second argument as the, title. Okay. And now here, what we are going to do is execute this code. Let's see what it displays. It says, hello, Professor Nilesh. Okay, let's see what happens if we, provide different orderings. Okay, we say print, display, and this time we say professor. We say professor first and then name, okay, as a second. So we say, we run this one. Let's see what it displays. It says, hello, Nayan professor. So see here, when the ordering is wrong, okay, if you pass the arguments in the wrong order, the function will not work properly. Okay, function doesn't understand this is a professor, this is a title, and this is a name. Okay, so you have to take care of this part. You have to take care of the right order. Okay, sending the values. Okay, and all right, so this name and this title, it's called positional parameters because you need the right position. Okay, so name has first position and title has second position, so you have to send the values as per that. Okay, all right. So when a function uses positional parameters, okay, when calling it, you need to provide the arguments that follow the order of the parameter. So this is very important. Okay, so let me put it here. For positional parameters, we what we need to do, when calling it, you need to provide the arguments that follow the order of the parameters. Okay. All right. So if you do the wrong ordering, if the function is not going to work properly. Now name parameter, name parameter, it solves this problem. Okay. Like, you make the meaning of the parameters clear, okay, in the function call. So in the function call, it is clear that which is title and which is name. So to define the name parameters, you surround them with curly braces. Okay, so like how? So let's do this. Okay, this string title, we put it in a curly brace, and it's like, put optional parameters, but this time we don't use square brackets, we use, this curly braces. Okay, and in this example, what we are doing, we change the title from positional parameter to named parameter. Okay, so the named parameter, it is optional. If you want to send, that's okay. If you don't want to send, that's also okay. And it's like a optional parameter. Okay, and you need to assign the default value. That's why in here. Okay, so you need to check in here like optional parameter. Okay, like if title dot is empty. Okay, and sorry, we have to remove this. And if it's empty, what we are going to do, we are going to return only
Return on only name.
hello. Please mute your microphone. So we are going to say hello, and title is empty, so we just greet with the first name. Okay, so this is same as optional parameter. Okay, so what is the difference between then optional parameter and named parameter? Okay, what is the difference? So in this case, named parameter, the ordering, okay, the ordering is the factoring here, okay. So you need to assign the default value, and that part we have seen now, okay. And now we need to assign the title here. See, this is giving error here, okay. Like if this is the title, now in this one, which one is title, Nilesh or Professor? Nilesh is a name, and this is named parameter. Okay, that means we have to give argument, a name. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are saying title professor. Okay, and this you have to name it outside. Okay, this. All right, and in this one, professor or name, which one is title? This one. Okay. Now, no matter you saying, professor as a second argument or first argument, it's not an issue because now function knows, you know, that the title is a professor one, so it will take care of that. Okay, it will copy this professor into the title. Okay, if you send it second as a second argument, it is going to copy this title into the named parameter. Okay, so all right. So now how we can make it, compulsory? Like how we can make this like this is optional actually, but I want to make this, compulsory. Okay, like named parameters are optional, So named parameters are optional. If you don't send it, that's also okay. Named parameters are optional. If don't you don't want to send it, that's okay. Okay. But how to make it, like required? Okay. You need to specify default values for the named parameters when defining the function. Okay. So here, let me show you how. So you need to add the required keyword in front of, or you can, remove the default value. Okay. So how to do that? You in order to make it this, required. So what you do, you make it this as required. Okay, and you remove this default value. Okay, and now this is, compulsory. You need to send it. Okay, you cannot skip it. Okay, let's run this code. Okay, let's say if you skip this one, if I want to run this code, okay, see print display and professor, here we say finish. Okay, and if we suppose remove this title, okay, it's going to give us error. Okay, see, it's already, giving error. That name parameter title is required, but there is no corresponding, try adding the required argument. Okay, see. And now if I run this, it's going to give me error. Okay, in order to remove this error, I need to remove this required and assign the default value. Now this is okay because this is optional now. If I don't pass it, that's okay. So this is optional name parameter and you want to make it required, then you just write here required string title and remove this, empty string. Okay. In this case, this is not allowed. Okay. You cannot call a function with one parameter. Okay. So, let's summarize this, what we have seen. Okay. So, Dart name parameters, you know, in order to use Dart name parameter to make the parameters clear in function calls. Use curly braces to surround the named parameters. Okay. And then by default, named parameters are optional, but if you want, you can use the required keyword to make them required. Then specify the parameter name when calling a function with named parameters. Okay. Give me 1 minute, please. Okay, is this clear to you? So we have just finished the named parameters. Okay. So let's see, the next part, which is, anonymous functions. Okay. So what is this anonymous functions? Okay. Now let me first comment this one. So anonymous functions are, the functions which doesn't have a name actually. Okay. Anonymous function. Let me write it here. Okay. A function which doesn't have a name. Okay. A function which doesn't have a name. So far you have learned how to define the named functions. Okay. If you return the return type and name, okay, from a name function, okay, you will have a anonymous function. Means functions, let's say this is a function. Okay, let's create a new function. Okay, enough with the greeting messages. Okay, so we just create an integer add function which receives two values. Okay, in two parameters x and y, and in here we are returning x plus y. Okay, so this is the function. So what is anonymous function basically? If you if you remove this return keyword, okay, like integer, so let's remove it. Okay, let's first copy it. Okay, let me copy this function, paste it in here, and remove this keyword, return keyword. Okay, fine. And name of the function. Okay, so we are removing this name of the function. Okay, then you have the anonymous function. Now this is anonymous function. We don't know that what is the name for this function. Okay, so this is the anonymous function, and this is defined function. Okay, when you define the function, okay, you name the function and you decide what is the returning type of the function. Okay, all right. So what we do now. All right, so this is the anonymous function that you have learned. Okay, so anonymous function, you assign an anonymous function to a variable in this case. Like how? Let me clear this by writing it first, main function. So you will have understanding because we want to define a variable now. So, you know, we write anonymous function inside. So anonymous function, basically we are removing the name of the function and return type. Okay, that's it. And we assign this to, some variable. Let's say this is the add variable. Okay. It's a variable and we are assigning this anonymous function to, this variable. Okay. Add. And now in this one, we just provide the semicolon. Okay. And then we print, this add, and this acts like a function. Okay, and this add is a variable and this is anonymous function. Okay, so we are passing values here 10 and 20. Okay, hold on, so let me put semicolon in here. So when we run this, we should see 30. Okay, this is the result. Okay, if I want to write one more anonymous function, so what I'm going to do, like with the definition, we go with the definition. We say integer subtraction integer x comma integer y. Okay, anonymous function doesn't have a name, that we will do returning x minus y. This is how you write the function. Now you want to make this anonymous. What you do, you define it in like a y variable. Okay, equal to, see, first thing first, what you do. Okay, return x minus y. Okay, this is what you do. Remove the return type and name of the function. Okay, now this is anonymous function. Then you copy this function. Okay, I copy this function into main function. Okay, so I'll say var subtraction is equal to, and copy this and put semicolon. Okay, now this is anonymous function. Okay, a function which doesn't have a name, and we assign that function to a variable sub. And now it's time to call this function. So, let's do print sub and pass this value 50, comma 20. I hope this is clear now. Okay. So let's run this one. Okay, it displays 30. Okay, let's give different values. 80. Okay. Is it clear to you how it works? Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. So let's see now. You know, the only thing that you have to know that function doesn't have a name. It's an anonymous function, and in order to call it, you need to assign this function to a variable, and then you use it like a like defined function that you used to do it before. Okay. That's what anonymous function is. The advantage of having anonymous function that you can have multiple names to the anonymous functions. Okay, like you can multiple variables you can have defined it. Okay, with different names. I can show you that. See, this is anonymous function. Okay, later on I can assign this function. You know, as a add. This is now I can assign it as a sum. See, this will be sum now. The only advantage I have this is that this function body can have different names. Okay, see, you got it. See, okay. So now we'll see arrow functions. Okay, all right. Let's comment all these code block first. Okay, so it's the arrow function that we are discussing. So it's the arrow function. If it's a one line function, you can convert that function to arrow function. Okay. So now in this one, you will be learning, arrow functions, functions like, I know one line function, if function body has only one line, let's say, integer, add function. Now this function, it has only one line. Okay. It's a return, x plus one. Now you tell me, isn't it the function has only one body? I say only one line. If it has multiple statements, no, it's not going to work. Okay. So how to convert this to one line? How to convert this to one line? You can write this function like this. Okay. Integer add, and in this one you write integer x comma integer y, and then you write the function body x plus y. Okay. This way you can write the one line function. Okay. See this function we have written it here as addition. Okay. This is having only one line that you can write it this way. Only thing in this addition function and one line one is difference is that we don't have curly braces in here. See, in here we don't have curly braces. Okay. All right. So let's say I have one more function in here like subtraction, and I want to convert this to one line. Okay. Arrow function. So here, what I will do is return x minus y, and I can do this way. Okay, so integer subtraction, and the parameters will be as is, integer x, integer y, no curly braces. Okay, arrow function. We say return. Okay, here in this one we have to say x minus y. Okay, so in here, what we are doing is x minus 5. So here, what is happening in here? See, you must wonder here, what is this error? Actually, we are naming this, like a add function, two times we're giving it. Here subtraction, we are having, defining two functions by the same name. That's why. So this function and this function both are same. Okay. So anonymous function has one line. Okay. You can convert it to arrow function to make it more compact. Okay. So the anonymous function is that. Okay. How is the anonymous function? Yes. Anonymous function, you have written it just now. Okay. This one is the anonymous function. Okay. So you can convert it to, okay, let me write it here. Anonymous functions. So this is like void main. Okay. And inside this, I will write this anonymous function. Okay. In this one, I'll write, everything. I'll put this in comment. So far, what I have coded here. And in here, this is the function. Okay. And in this one, so returning the value x plus 1. And now we want to print this. Okay. Print subtraction and 50 and 10. Okay. And semicolon. Okay. So this is anonymous function. We can make it one line. How? Let's see that. Okay. In here, we are going to copy the code and paste it one more time. Here we'll say add. Let's make this function anonymous. How? So, you remove these curly braces. Okay. You remove these curly braces and okay, you write it on one line, provide arrow in here and remove the return keyword. Okay. So it's the same way that you have to supposed to convert the anonymous function. So semicolon is removed from in here. So this is the way you work with. Okay, let's run this one. See, you get the 50, 40. And in here, it's addition. So let's change the sign. Okay, let's do the plus. Let's run it. You get the 60. Okay. So what is arrow function? Basically, arrow functions, you use the arrow function for the functions with one line to make the code more concise. Okay. So what is arrow function? You use the, arrow function for the functions with one line. With one line. Okay. To make code more concise. Okay. Like to save the space. Okay. To save the space. So it's like, you're using here 4 lines of code and see here, you're just using one line. Okay. All right. So, what we have seen today that, we have seen functions, optional parameters, name parameters, anonymous functions, and arrow functions. Okay. I hope you understand this part and it's clear to you. Okay. What are the functions? In the next session, we'll be seeing classes, objects, okay, inheritance, okay, and other
Okay.
details. All right.
Yes. So
Okay. Are there any questions?
no, can you
Okay.
please
All right.
share the code?
Yeah, I will share the code to you. Okay. Then we have to stop this session. We'll see you in the next session. Okay. I will share the code to you. Okay. All right. Have a nice day. Bye.